Hello, Miami. This is 305 Sports Now, your home podcast and channel for all things Miami sports related. I am Will, and let me tell you, it has been a very rough, and I mean rough, week to be a Miami football fan. As the last time I was on here, yes, I'm still currently on vacation over here in Orlando, as I'll still be here with my family. So I want to say to everybody, Happy New Year out there in the 305 sports world. Those of you that are watching me on YouTube or also watching me on X, as we're broadcasting in both locations. It's a rough week. I mean, it's a rough week. The Miami Hurricanes, even though they were not the favorites to defeat, they're not the favorites, per ESPN to beat Rutgers. I did have, and most of us did have the Miami Hurricanes beating Rutgers. That didn't happen, but at least it was a more competitive game than what we saw today. The Miami Dolphins with a great chance, a great chance of pretty much having an opportunity to take the sole command of the AFC, pretty much lay an egg over in Baltimore as the Baltimore Ravens destroy the Miami Dolphins, showing that they are the more superior team by a score of 56-19. There was no miracle comeback like there was last season, where the Miami Dolphins shocked the Ravens in the fourth quarter. But the Miami Dolphins were greatly defeated. It did start off very promising, though, as the Miami Dolphins just dissected, the Baltimore Ravens. Tua looked crisp and very precise as he was able to get a first quarter touchdown, pass the ball over to, Wilson in the end zone right there, but that's pretty much one of the nicest things that did happen in that game. The second quarter was all Ravens. I mean, the running game picked up for the Ravens. The passing game picked up for the Ravens as well. Zay Flowers, the rookie at Boston College, South Florida product, picked up and just dissected the Dolphins as well. But the one thing I will say about this team is that it was an absolute complete loss. And the Miami Dolphins gave up 21 points in the second quarter and gave up 21 points in the fourth quarter as well. So it was just basically a horrific game. And also, to add insult to injury, if you have some comments, please feel free to lay them down, all right? And let me know what you think. To add insult to injury, another key Dolphin goes down yet again, and Bradley Chubb was carted off the field, towards the end of the fourth quarter. Just breaking things down a little bit. 22 for 38, 237 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 2 very costly picks as well. Lamar Jackson was just absolutely sick, all right? If there was ever a case to make a case for the MVP, it was Lamar Jackson. I mean, he pretty much put a stranglehold, I think, on that award, going 18 for 21, 321 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions either. And instead of taking off and running all the time, he pretty much was able to create with his legs as well. The one bright spot for the Dolphins was Devon Achane, as Achane had 14 carries for 107 yards. He also had 4 catches for 30 yards, including 1 touchdown from Tua Tagovailoa. This was an absolute complete team loss, all right? You can question play calling, all right, all you want, throughout this game, but it was just a brutal affair altogether. The Dolphins were gashed, on the defense side of the ball, and they were later on controlled as the Baltimore Ravens were able to figure out and control, a lot of the schematics when it came to the Dolphin passing game. The running game was actually pretty solid, all right? I will we'll give the Dolphins credit for it. All right, the Dolphins did run the ball pretty decently against Baltimore. Achane, like I said, was absolutely sensational, but the Ravens are just a complete team and much better all around, okay? So Tua gives up an interception that he should have never given up, pretty much towards the end of the second quarter on a drive that looked pretty promising. He looked down his receiver, throws the pick, and the linebacker for the Ravens gets the interception basically in one hand. If you look up top, the tight end was open on that play, but Tua did not look his way at all. And that's something that Tua is pretty good at knowing the field and knowing where to go. He's good at looking off defenders, but not this time around. Either he threw another interception after a turnover was caused by pickup by Javon Holland. I believe the strip came from Bradley Chubb, and again to a right trying to go to Tyreek Hill, ends up throwing the interception as well. Team stats all around: Baltimore 491 yards total offense, while the Dolphins had 375 yards. Key factor again was 3 turnovers for the Miami Dolphins and 1 for the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, now take a sip of water here as I'm a bit excited, throughout this game, but I just want to let everybody know, the Miami Dolphins needed this game more than the Baltimore Ravens needed this game, right? The Baltimore Ravens are a team that are a battle-tested team. They've been in the playoffs consistently, never won, never gone to Super Bowl, under the Lamar Jackson era, but they're pretty consistent, throughout their tenure. The Dolphins need this game because I personally feel the Dolphins are going to make a Super Bowl run. They need to have home field. They really do. They need to not miss a game at Hard Rock. If they go on the road, especially if they have to go to Baltimore in the winter season, I think that's going to be a big problem. Or Kansas City, it will be a big problem for the Dolphins. But nonetheless, this is something that should not have happened. The Dolphins should have won this game. The Dolphins have beaten the Ravens before. The defense, again, was absolutely atrocious. The pass rush was bad, right, as well. What looked like, the running game, the run defense was top 5 in the league, was going to stall, early on in the game. They were gashed as well by Gus Edwards as well, and also by the speedy running back of Justice as well. So it was just not a good game. Lamar sat back, threw some balls. Xavier Howard leaves the game, and Eli Apple gets torched by Zay Flowers, looked lost in coverage in that play. There's a reason why Eli Apple is no longer with the Bengals. The Miami Dolphins pick him up to add some depth to the cornerback position, and it doesn't work as he was burned in this game, altogether. But this is a game, again, if you want to be competitive, if you want to shut the people like Shannon Sharp and Calvin Cowherd up, you've got to win these games. The Dolphins, they were able to slightly push the narrative back about them being good, not able to beat good teams when they beat the Dallas Cowboys at home, but they have to also do it on the road. If they want to contribute, if they want to be a team that goes far and along in the playoffs, they have to win tough road games, and they have not done that this year. They had a neutral site game against Kansas City. They lost. They lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. They got beaten up by the Buffalo Bills, who, by the way, will probably determine, the AFC East this upcoming Sunday. Okay, if this upcoming Sunday is do or die for the Phins, they could take the division as well. As well. So we'll see what happens. Okay, they're not gonna take the conference. That belongs to the Ravens. All right, but they can at least take the AFC East and dethrone, the Buffalo Bills if they're able to beat them next week. Josh Allen does have a good record against the Dolphins, but the good thing is Miami Dolphins have played better at home, and Josh Allen could be pretty turnover prone despite him playing really good football right now, right, as well. I just want to take a quick score. I was on late because I was having an early dinner with the family for New Year's before we start our festivities, but I want to take a look at a few things as well, if you could bear with me. Let's see, let me go into the scores table here. I'm up on the ESPN app, right, as well. And the Bills do beat the Patriots 27-21. So it is a pretty intense situation as the Miami Dolphins have their 5th loss. If the Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins, if they do beat the Miami Dolphins this upcoming Sunday on the 7th, the Buffalo Bills will have stolen the division from the Dolphins because they would have the tiebreaker if they go 0-2. But if the Miami Dolphins do win, defeat the Buffalo Bills, they win outright because they'll have a better record than does Buffalo. So it's going to be a very intriguing matchup this upcoming Sunday. I do think the Dolphins have a good shot. These two teams play each other all the time, every single year. Okay, and that says a lot about the teams. The Dolphins did beat them last year, and even though they had a horrific loss this year, they did not have Jalen Ramsey. Hopefully, they have Xavier Howard to set the other side as well. But again, the Dolphins are a much better home team. They're on the road. They don't have to deal with the winter of Buffalo. It'll be probably crisp over here in Miami. So it's perfect weather for football. It will be at the Rock next week. Next week, we will see what the Dolphins are made of. The Dolphins need to win this game, and that's another playoff caliber team the Miami Dolphins could defeat before they enter into the playoffs. They will not get a bye. All right, they could probably finish with the 2nd seed. They're not going to get a bye, because Baltimore will have that wrapped up. But nonetheless, at least they will have home field, okay? And hopefully somebody beats the Ravens, and they're able to do that. That's if they beat Buffalo, okay? That's if they beat Buffalo. So, again, the Miami Dolphins control their own destiny as far as the playoff goes. They're already in no matter what. But where their seeding is, they control that. If they could defeat the Buffalo Bills next week at the Rock, if they're able to force Josh Allen to be turnover prone like he has been this season as well, they'll be able to pretty much be a victorious team and march their way into the playoffs under good conditions. It sucks that they're not going to get the bye. It really does suck because the bye would have been great to heal those bodies and rest up as they go into, pretty much the second portion of the playoffs. But the bottom line is the Dolphins do need this win. They need to be, the best seeding. They need the best seeding they can get, so that way they can have as many home games as possible, for the playoffs. Because the Miami Dolphins are a totally different team at home, right? The Miami Dolphins do find ways to win games at home. They just don't do very well on the road. Miami is not a good road team. Next season, I do expect the Dolphins to be better. they improved in the running game this year. The Dolphin defense, I expect to be a bit more consistent as they will probably draft on the defensive side of the ball to fit Vangel's system a bit better. But this defense was just torn apart this game. 56 points. 56 points. That is absolutely embarrassing. 21 points given up twice in the second and fourth quarter, money quarters as well. Absolutely embarrassing, right? As well, I'm at a loss for words. Okay, I'm at a loss for words. I just can't imagine. But this is a complete team loss, right? There was bad play calling on the side of Mike McDaniel, bad scheming on the side of Vic Fangio as well. You know, Tua again, not going through his progressions as well. You know, that's pretty much what I have to say as far as it goes. So you can't say it was Tua's fault. Can't say it was defense's fault. Everybody was just gaga this game, all right? Everybody stunk this game. It was a bad game all around. I'm curious to see, you know, what is said on Hard Knocks this upcoming Tuesday in reference to this game. Because, I mean, it's I think this team will bounce back, all right? This team will bounce back. There is that to beat the Buffalo Bills that this team does have, so they will be motivated this upcoming Sunday, January 7th, to make sure that they get the W. But I will say this, though. This is a tough loss, all right? And Bradley Chubb, you know, who's having a Pro Bowl year, I don't know what the situation is with him. I haven't heard it yet. But if he's out for this game and the rest of the season, the Dolphins are going to have a very difficult time because that's two elite pass rushers that are out for the season in Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb. Again, I don't know the Chubb situation completely. He could be back next week. I don't know. But it's pretty bad when you get carted off. Okay, that's not good, all right? And he's going to be very much needed against a quarterback that is very mobile in Josh Allen, because we need to get those sacks up, right, as well. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have no comments, it's okay. We'll have a good new year, all right? Please do not forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share button on your YouTube channel as well. Don't forget to follow me on X as well, 305 Sports Now. If there are no comments, have a great evening. God bless. See you soon. Happy New Year. Go Phins. Go Dolphins. Go Heat. And I will be introducing the changes next week on 305 Sports Now. Plus, I have some guests that I do have planned to come up real soon. Have a good one, guys. God bless. See you soon. Bye-bye.